Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to Potter Road Elementary School. I'm the principal, Larry Walpe. Thanks so much for joining us. This is not really Potter Road Elementary School because this is 2020, and we are in the middle of a pandemic. So we appreciate you joining us, and you are joining us virtually from our houses. We have a wonderful cast of characters with us today, and you're going to learn all about Potter Road in the next 50 minutes or so. So without further ado, I do want to talk a little bit about what I'm going to call the rules of engagement for today. You want to be really careful. You can just hold off. I know that there are a lot of folks with a lot of questions. You're anxious, you want to learn, but please wait until the end of the entire presentation, and then the chat will be opened up. We'd much rather have that so we can sort of get through the nuts and bolts of today, and then we can and then once we do that, then we'll open it up for questions. So before I get to the presentation itself, let me show you a few of the folks who we have with us today joining me on the panel. My assistant principal, Mrs. DaCosta. Mrs. DaCosta, I'd like to say hello to the fine folks. All right, and I should let you know, this is different for us. Normally, we're used to some face-to-face interaction. Also joining us from the school, we have our guidance counselor, Mrs. Coates is with us. Hello, Mrs. Coates.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you.
And we also have, let's see, we have Nurse A. She is with us as well, Maureen Archibald.
Hi, everyone.
And we will have an opportunity to meet the kindergarten teachers, but let's just do it now before we get into the formal presentation. We have Mrs. McMahon is with us. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
And Mrs. Hovey is here as well.
Olá, boa tarde, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Obrigada.
And we have Mrs. Moriarty.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
And we have Mrs. Lopez. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Olá, todo mundo.
Wonderful. And this would not be possible without the awesome parent volunteers that we have. So without further ado, we have our co-presidents of the PTO, Jamie Caesar is with us.
Hello, welcome.
And Jasmine Laffin is the other co-president of the PTO.
Hi, everyone.
Also from the PTO, we have Betsy Fishman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
And then we have our Legend Lee is with us as well.
Hello.
And both Betsy and Arleje have students who are in the two-way program, and we'll talk about that as we go through today's tour. Oh, and look who just popped in. This is the beauty of virtual communication. We are lovely and talented bilingual social worker, none other than Mrs. Karen Akte. How are you?
Good.
Say hello to the people out there.
Hi, people out there. I'm Karen, the bilingual social worker. Nice seeing you, maybe.
And there's many of them because I have a screen and it tells me there's actually about 37 people out there today. Also, we have Dr. Lou or Dr. Castrione is with us as well. You want to say a quick hello? You want to unmute? This is.
Oh, sure. Hello. Boa tarde. Hi.
All right. So I didn't say this at the beginning, but I want to let you know, folks, you've got to be patient with us. Even though it's 2020, we all know technology. We're getting used to all this Google Hangout stuff, this Zoom stuff. So sometimes we might mute and unmute when we don't expect it, but we're going to get through this together. Let me begin by sharing my screen, and I'm going to go back to where I was. Hold on just 1 second. Like I said, we're all getting used to it. Let's share the screen. We will share. We will go over here, and hopefully, through the magic of communicating, you can all see the slideshow that we have for you today. We are Potter Road Elementary School. We are the home of lifelong learners, and I'm going to ask my assistant principal, Mrs. DaCosta, to join in whenever she would like, if she's got anything to add here. So we're the home of the Potter Road Panthers. During the tour, you're going to meet our staff and students. You're going to hear from our PTO. You heard a little bit from them, but we'll have an opportunity to hear just a little bit more in a few minutes. You're going to join us on, now, it's funny, my colleague, Dr. Rothwell at Brophy, had the prestigious honor to say he was the first of the virtual tours, but I have the honor of saying we are the second of the virtual tours. And I think this will be second to none. You'll also have an opportunity to ask some questions and answers. First thing I want to discuss is the two-way program. Some folks may be interested in that, so I'll touch on it very briefly. The goal for the program is to have all two-way students be bicultural, bilingual, and biliterate when they leave Potter Road in 5th grade. Mrs. DaCosta, do you want to add in anything before we talk about the target language, or maybe you could discuss that?
So our goal with the two-way program is to develop students' language capabilities, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. It's a gift that many children come to our school with, and we are hoping to maintain language for those students who already have Portuguese as a first language or as a language spoken in the home.
And we should mention that Mrs. DaCosta is completely fluent in both Portuguese and English, and the program starts in kindergarten. 80% of the students' day is in Portuguese, 20% in English, and you can see that those ratios decrease as far as the amount of Portuguese by the time they reach 3rd grade. It's what we call a 50-50 model. We can get into further explanation of that if there are questions down the road, but I will tell you, so I've been at the school, I was there 5 years as assistant principal, last year and a half as principal of the building, and I can tell you without a doubt that it is absolutely amazing to watch those students we started last year with K1 and now we're at 2, and to see the progression and the growth in those students has been absolutely amazing. I'm going to sort of open back up to our kindergarten teachers. I don't know if each of you wants to say just a little something about Potter Road, about yourselves. You know, normally we'd like to say our tours are personality plus. We're going to do our level best to give that to you virtually. Let's start off with Mrs. McMahon. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly McMahon. I've been teaching kindergarten at Potter Road for 19 years. I've taught kindergarten my whole life, my educational life. I'm from Framingham, so I know Framingham really, really well. I love Potter Road. It's a wonderful place to be. So we hope you join us. Thanks.
All right, Mrs. Hovey, would you like to talk a little bit?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Katarina Hovey. I'm a kindergarten teacher this is my 8th year at Potter Road, and I can't say enough that I'm living the dream teaching the two-way program, and I get to share my language and my culture with 24 wonderful kids, and I'm very excited to meet the new students, and thank you for joining us. I hope we can see each other soon.
All right, Mrs. Moriarty.
Hello, everyone. I have been a member of the Potter Road community for, my goodness, 18 years now. First as a parent, then as a kindergarten aide, and then as a kindergarten teacher in the standard program. Potter Road is a great school, a great community, and we look forward to welcoming you to it.
And finally, our newest addition just joined us this year, and boy, has she had quite the year, Mrs. Lopez.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Lopez. That will be my 2nd year at Potter Road, and I'm loving being a teacher, Portuguese teacher, and I feel really welcome by Framingham Public School, and I really hope to see you soon, my new students, and thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Lopez. To discuss a little bit about before and after school here, next year we're going to have the Explorers program. Mrs. DaCosta, can you explain to folks a little bit about the Explorers program? She joined us from Woodrow Wilson, and you guys have that over there, yes?
Yes, so the Explorers program is an opportunity for students to come to school early in the morning. We open at 7 o'clock in the morning.
and stay until the school day starts. And in that morning program, students do different kinds of activities, kind of wake themselves up. Some will play with Legos, they'll have a little breakfast and really get their day started. In the afternoon, Explorers continues after school till 6 o'clock. And in that part of the program, there's a ton of enrichment opportunities for the kids. They go outside, they play, they have fun with all different kinds of board games. They learn activities. They'll do some drama, some things in the gym, some artwork. It's really an opportunity to enrich their day and help out parents that need to work.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Some achievements as we look at Potter Road. We have a wonderful art program, wonderful art teacher, and we have had a lot of student artwork on exhibition in Boston in the Framingham Public Library. We've had students who have won poetry contests, and because of the two-way program, we get a lot of visitors from across the state to come and see the good work that we're doing at Potter Road. So that's why we are a designated site visit for the regional conference on dual language. There's a regional conference that has to do with dual language, and folks come from across the state. They visit, they meet with us, they tour the classrooms, they get a sense of the program. And we don't want to forget our PTO, considering that I have invited 4 of them here today. But I don't know if one of our co-presidents would like to step up and say a little something, Jamie or Jasmine, and then perhaps we'll talk a little bit about parental involvement, and we can have somebody else speak as well.
Sure, I can speak. Hi, my name's Jamie Caesar. I am a mom of a 3rd grader and a kindergartner. So I can tell you I was just in this spot last year, and I totally understand where you guys all are with the stress of this. But just know that whatever school you choose will be the right school for your family, and everyone will welcome you in. With our PTO, we do meet once a month, and it's the parent-teacher organization. We meet once a month to go over different ideas of how we can fundraise and different family events that we can have within this school. We are extremely lucky to have an awesome set of parents and teachers at our school, so that makes our PTO so successful to be able to have events throughout the year and to be able to help the school, the students and the teachers. Jasmine, do you want to say anything?
I think you covered it all.
Okay.
So we should tell you that we have a superb parental community. We have some great parents, and I'd love to allow the opportunity for some folks who gave up some of their afternoon. Mrs. Fishman, do you want to add anything there about the parent community and how you support the education at Potter Road?
Sure. I think one of my favorite things about Potter is how awesome our community is. And I think I felt 5 years ago, I have a 4th grader and a 2nd grader, and I know that I felt really welcomed right off the bat, and I really loved that about Potter. We talk about being a Potter Road family, and I think that that really is a good summary of how we feel about each other. We're a really strong community. If you want to check out and see a little bit about what Potter's about, I encourage you to visit our Facebook page, Potter Road School. You can get a sense of some of the stuff that we do and how we support each other, and what a year looks like if you scroll down far enough.
or what a year looks like right now.
Right.
And Mrs. Lee, do you have anything you want to add there?
I agree with Betsy. I have a 2nd grader, and I'm also part of the two-way program. I mean, my kid is, and it's just a wonderful school. I was just very lucky to be there, and I can't wait for my younger son to join the school too.
All right, great. Thanks so much, folks. I appreciate the participation. I want to jump in and say one thing here. All of the elementary schools in Framingham are phenomenal, all 9, okay? So I realize there's a lot of stress. You're thinking about how am I going to make this decision? But what I'm going to tell you is the curriculum is the same across the elementary schools. You know, it's as Mrs. McMahon always likes to say, It's that feeling you get from perhaps the administration, perhaps the teachers, whatever it is. So I want you to just take a collective deep breath and know that you're going to have a great experience no matter where you go. But I had to get that out there before we went any further. We do have a ton of extracurricular activities happening at Potter Road. We have chorus, we have Box, which is a physical fitness program, which happens before school. We have a great engineering club. We have a school-wide community garden. That is not what, by the way, is behind Mrs. DaCosta right now. That's the, it's the front of the building is what that is, right? No, that's the back of the building. Is that the back or the front? I don't even, that's the front, I think. It's hard to tell. We've been out for a while. Strength in numbers. We have a great partnership with MathWorks to help students on the MCAS. We have a Dungeons and Dragons club that meets after school. So there's a lot happening. We encourage literacy with our newspaper club. We have student writers every year. I get to partake in an interview with one of them. We have a page turners club. So a lot of great things happen, but I'm going to say a lot of these require parental support and involvement. So I know when you're sending a child off to kindergarten, you're probably thinking, how can I get involved? This is one of the ways right here, getting involved with the extracurricular activities. So here's a quick look at Potter Road Elementary School through pictures and video. So we have, it looks like that is the front of the building. If you were driving down Potter Road right now, you would see that. And then we also have another look. That is in the back of the building. That's what's behind Mrs. DaCosta. The slide that has this one right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. The thinner lettering. This is the front entrance right here of Potter Road. Go inside the entrance, you would be in the main office. And now, if you look here, this is inside our main office. Oh, well, things happen. So that's what we said. It's live and things happen. So we're just going to continue the tour. Trust me, it's a great office. This is the nurse's office. I'm going to allow Nurse A to jump in here and say anything she'd like about health and the nurse's office. It's normally.
I so miss my office and I miss my kids. I'm here for any medical issues, any health issues, any concerns with your child. I'm available when school's open, so feel free to contact me. You can contact me now on my email, which is on the website. But I work very closely with families and children that have special needs, and just the day-to-day issues in my office. And good luck making your choice.
All right, thank you, Nurse A. We're gonna move along. This was actually painted by our art teacher. It's a great mural, and it has our core values of our school there: be kind, be safe, and work hard. I'm going to try my hand at some Portuguese here. Seja gentil, seja esforçado, and seja cuidadoso. And Mrs. DaCosta will let me know later how I did there. So those are our core values, and that's really what we live by. Over here is a quick look at our cafeteria. This could be the quickest tour I've ever done, actually. We're going to take you inside a couple of kindergarten classrooms. I miss going inside those classrooms, seeing those kids and watching them learn. Over here is a look at our library. We have a wonderful librarian who's done a tremendous job with the library, and she continues to renovate and make all sorts of improvements and really look at our book collection and making sure that what we're doing is relevant to the students. Moving on just a little bit here, back on the main, actually the same floor as the library, we have the gymnasium. A couple of pictures of the art room in here. And this is just outside the music room. The students in grades 4 and 5 learn the ukulele, and that is all across the district. Boy, that's a lot of fun. I actually played a little as well. After watching them, I was inspired to learn. This is a good look at our playground. We like it better when there's lots of kids on it here. Now, this is a video, a day in the life video. Now, I mentioned that this is the 21st century and things could go wrong. I'm hoping you can hear the audio. If you can't, maybe someone can let us know in the chat, and Mrs. DaCosta, I'll gladly stop the video, and I think I know exactly what I have to do to make it so they can hear the audio, okay? So I'm gonna start to play it. If you can't hear anything, if someone could just tell the panelists and Mrs. DaCosta, please unmute yourself and let me know, because I think I can make a quick change to make it happen. Well, hold on. That was a quick look at the video. Hold on. Let's see. Why is that son of a gun? There we go.
There's no sound.
Okay, so we understand there's no sound. Momentarily, I'm going to stop my share here. I'm going to go back. I am going to share. I think I just need to make a quick change to audio. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if I've learned anything. Thank you, folks, for letting us know. It's important that we know these things. Now, I think.
P-O-T-T-E-R-O. Try our hardest every day. P-O-T-T-E-R-O. Now we're here to stay.
Try it again. Sorry.
Nope.
All right, hold on just 1 second. We'll try it one more time. As they say, the third or fifth time is a charm. Let's see if we can do this here. Of course, it was working earlier. I'm going to try it one more time because I don't give up easily, folks.
Let me tell you, I'm a lifelong learner. I'll always try my best. I treat others with kindness. I always show respect. P-O-T-T-E-R-O. We try our hardest every day. P-O-T-T-E-R-O. Now we're here to stay. Let me tell you, I'm a lifelong.
Kindergarten is so exciting at Potter Road School. Here is a peek into the day of a kindergartner. I ride the bus to school, but some of my friends walk. Either way, once the bell rings, we line up and head to our classrooms. The first thing we do each morning is place our backpacks, lunchboxes, and coats on our hooks and in our cupboards. This is our responsibility. It teaches us to be in charge of our belongings. Once everything is put away, we get a little time to read before we start our morning meeting. I love when we get to read. When the teacher tells us it's time we finish reading, put our books away and get ready for morning meeting. During morning meeting, we talk about our day. We learn about what day of the week it is and month of the year we are in. Sometimes when there is a holiday, we talk about what the holiday is and how we celebrate it. I like when I get to tell the class the date. I feel like I'm the teacher. My mom says that it teaches me how to be a leader and how to speak in front of people. I think it's lots of fun.
February 16th, 2017. And then you want to find. Nice job looking out the window. Scientists have to observe.
We also talk about the weather during our morning meeting. Did you know that weather is a science?
What are you going to say?
Cloudy, yeah. Sometimes the sun goes in and out. If you want to say cloudy, I agree with you.
Morning meeting is also when we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I didn't know the words at first, but we practiced, and now I know them all.
United States of America.
In kindergarten, we learn how to read one word at a time. During morning meeting, we practice our sight words. Sight words are in almost every book you read, so it's important to know them. At the end of our morning meeting, we have a fun time with balloons. It is a happy way to start our day. After morning meeting, we start our literacy block. This helps us with reading and writing. Today, we are learning how to spell by sounds. This will help us write stories all by ourselves.
Kayla, what do you hear?
One of the most fun parts of the day is when we play outside. I like running around and enjoying our playground. The swing is my favorite. After recess, we clean up and get ready for lunch. We make sure we are quiet in the hallways so that we don't disturb other classes. That would not be kind. Lunchtime is fun. Sometimes I bring my lunch, and sometimes I buy it from school. I love popcorn chicken day. After lunch, it's read aloud time. We get to hear great stories and talk about books.
Mischief is trouble.
Yeah, very trouble.
To get
into trouble?
That's a great question. Sometimes I like to do some mischief too. I think that's why.
After our teacher reads a book, it's our turn to read in our reading groups. We get to learn special reading tricks here.
I love it. Can you show Laura and Jillian what you did again?
Writer's Workshop is next. We learn about what writers do when they write stories.
About what they're going to write about before they even pick up their pencil and start writing. We call this.
Our teacher really helps us learn how to write all on our own.
Tell us more. Instead of saying read a lot of stuff, we could say read a lot of. Does that word tell us more about?
Next is specials. Each day we get to go to a different special. In music, we learn about rhythms and beats with song.
Okay, does anyone else want to do it?
In gym, we learn about being healthy and exercising with fun games. In art, we learn how to create beautiful masterpieces. And no week would be complete without a trip to the library to check out a book.
Oh, Pink can say, I love this story.
We also get to visit computer lab. It's so much fun to play games or read books on the computer. After specials, we get to do math. We have so much fun learning with all the cool toys in our class. I learned how to make number sentences, number bonds, and even shapes.
Flat. That's a 2D shape. It's flat.
Sometimes one of the books we read leads to a fun activity. Here we are building a bridge, just like the one from the Three Billy Goats garage. This takes a lot of math, engineering, and imagination. And even though we are in kindergarten, we are learning simple physics too. Here we study motion using the scientific method. We make a guess and experiment to see what works. Then it's choice time. We can do Play-Doh, building games, art, and even pretend play. I like being a veterinarian.
All right, boys and girls.
At the end of the day, our teacher asked how our day was before we leave for home. Mine was super. I can't wait to do it again. I hope you have fun on the tour.
Let me tell you I'm a lifelong learner. I'll always try my best. I treat others with kindness. I always show respect. P-O-T-T-E-R-O. We try our hardest every day. PPR Road. Now we're here to stay.
So I'm glad we were able to get that video to you there. Now I make sure, I believe I am unmuted here. So we do want to thank you for visiting with us, and we hope that you enjoyed your time. You can see there's some email information there for myself, Larry Walpe, or Mrs. DaCosta as well. Now, what I'd like to do, let me just mention one quick thing. That video was actually shot and produced by a parent of a now she's a fourth grader rather, at Potter Road, and that was done in 2017. So that was just great. I am so glad that you had an opportunity to see that. So with that said, let's do this. We would like to open it up to questions. So if you have any questions, now is the chance to type them in the chat. And we will sort of go through. Question says, what kind of interaction is there between the students in the traditional program and the bilingual two-way program? You know what? I'm going to let Mrs. Moriarty and Mrs. Hovey take that one.
So every day the children integrate at specials time. There are a quarter of each of our classrooms that mix together at specials. So they go to gym, music, art, and library together. And then also at recess, and then at the end of the day, every day.
Do I need to add anything? Are we talking Portuguese as well?
No, well, not for this tour necessarily, but you're welcome to add something. I just thought you might want to.
I think Ms. Moriarty explained that's pretty much it. Unless we do a special event where we integrate, to do a special project, those are the times that we interact with each other.
I just want to add in that that's the same as before we had the two-way program. That was the same amount of integration. So there's no difference between the two-way and before, if that's helpful information.
And also before and after school program, there's a great opportunity too for all the kids to interact.
And we do the integration of specialist groups, the integration of all children actually, starting next year, will actually take place throughout the grade. So your children will have an opportunity to make friends with students. Like right now, it happens in every grade but 4. And Mrs. Acosta looked at each other and said, why is it not happening in 4? But it's going to happen in 4 next year. So it's really going to happen across the board. I'm going to venture to, let's see, I'm nervous about my child taking the bus. How is this handled? Do the teachers take them to the bus and pick them up? I will tell you that we have some of the most caring and passionate and compassionate kindergarten teachers, and they make sure that no student misses the bus, and they make sure that the children know their buses. I don't know, Mrs. McMahon, Mrs. Lopez, Mrs. Moriarty, anybody want to handle that question there?
Sure, I'll take that. This is Mrs. McMahon. If your child rides the bus, we physically get them off the bus. So when you put your child on the bus to come to school, they don't get off the bus, kindergarten, unless a kindergarten teacher takes them off the bus and brings them to their correct kindergarten teacher. So one of the 4 of us will get on the bus, take them off, bring them to their teacher. And then at the end of the day, we physically put them on the bus. There's teachers that walk them right to the bus, put them on the bus, get them on the bus, and then we come back. So your child is never getting on or off the bus unless there's an adult present, and we get them to the correct spot where they need to be.
And one thing that we didn't mention throughout the course of this tour, so to speak, is social emotional learning. Mrs. Coates and Mrs. Acte are both there. Dr. Liu as well. Really, if your child is having any sort of problems, adjusting, academic, like we have a wonderful support staff who's always ready, willing, and able to help. I don't know if anybody wants to speak to just that aspect of it. We know it. Many of us have had children who have gone through kindergarten. We know what it feels like. So we're happy to support families in any way possible. I don't know if anyone on the sports staff wants to speak to it. You're welcome to. Okay. If not, we'll continue. Is the rest?
I just want to jump in just real quick. I'd like to say I'm reading the questions about the routines of the day. I wanted to say that the support staff teams up with the teachers and we practice those skills, getting on and off the bus, walking in the hallway. So it's a learning, it's supervised, but it's not only supervision, it's also learning, practice, and practicing self-regulation throughout the day. So we do this as a team, and we're observing development and helping them grow.
And great. Mrs. Moriarty, you want to talk about, why don't you handle maybe 2 questions at once here? We'll consolidate them. Rest time and quiet time, and how long is recess and lunch?
Okay, so recess is about 20 minutes right before lunch. Lunch is a half an hour for the students. We do sneak in an extra recess at the end of the day. We have a supportive administration who understands that these young children need to move and play. So there isn't a little extra at the end of the day before they get on the bus. I think that was it.
All right.
Rest time, Mrs. Moriarty, rest time.
Oh, rest time. So after we get back from lunch and their little bellies are full, hopefully, they do rest for about 15 minutes. As we move into January and they're developing a little more, that turns into more of a quiet time, an independent reading time. There is still that quiet period after lunch for them until the end of the year.
Excellent. Mrs. DaCosta, is it possible, you have access to the chat, right? Can you type in our email addresses in there? Rather than going back and sharing the slide, I'd like to stay here for a minute because I do see we have the questions lining up. We'll put the emails in the chat, and then Ms. DaCosta, I didn't warn you, but I'm gonna say it live. Before we go, if you can try to copy and paste the chat, I'll tell you why. It actually goes into this next question. Will you be able to see this again? Yes, this is being recorded. And the goal is we will put it on the Potter Road website, and we'll also try to compile some frequently asked questions because while we have a ton of them already, you're asking some great questions. So we'll work on doing that here. Let's see, hold on. I'm trying to go slowly and methodically through the questions. Can you share the screen? Additional information on special education services offered, OT, PT, speech, or would those take place outside of school? No, those would actually take place during the school day. So if your child comes to Potter Road already on an IEP, then we would honor that IEP, and then as part of the law, we would meet on an annual basis to revisit the goals of that IEP and decide if there needs to be some additional supports put in place, but anything that the child's already on. And if, let's just say we discover throughout the course of kindergarten or even first or second or third grade, that a child is having trouble keeping pace. Maybe there's, we suspect there might be some processing issues or anything. We meet as a team internally, we discuss things. You as the parent are always welcome to bring concerns to us. I know myself, I had a daughter who was on an IEP, and you have to be the best advocate for the children, but those services happen in school, I'm gonna make my way down. What steps do you take for the kids' safety arriving and departing school? I think we touched on that a little bit. Your kids are gonna be supported in every way, shape, or form. We have a wonderful group of kindergarten teachers. We have a wonderful staff. I didn't know, I knew they were wonderful, but I didn't know quite how wonderful they were until we had an unexpected early dismissal back in March. And they are simply awesome. So they're gonna be here for you and your children.
Mr. Wolfe, I want to just add
please.
in one thing that we usually see on the tour in regards to bus. At Potter Road, we have 2 doors. One door where the kindergartners get off, and then the other door where the 1st through 5th graders get off, so that they aren't sort of trampled over or anything like that. I know that was a worry of mine when I was a kindergarten parent. And then at the end of the day for dismissal, the kindergartners actually get dismissed if they're a walker. If they're on the bus, they load up at that same door that they got off at in the morning, and then the big kids get on the bus. At the end of the day, if you're a walker, around the back of the school, they are dismissed to a parent or guardian. They are not just sort of let out the back of the school to fend for themselves. One of our teachers is always there at dismissal and will call out the child's name, Mrs. McMahon, if they see the parent. They are not dismissed unless there's a parent or guardian there.
Thank you for that clarification. And I apologize, guys. I'm a dad with 3 kids of my own. So if you saw me just get up out of my chair and tell my daughter to stop knocking at the door, you weren't imagining things. That really happened. Do all grades take field trips?
Let me add a little something on the bus.
Please.
So our bus drivers are just as careful with our children as our staff. They make sure that they know all the kindergarten students' names. They have them sit up front on the bus, and no child is dropped off at a bus stop without a parent or guardian there to receive them. So they play a key part, and the kids, for the most part, do a really good job of learning that routine. As Luciana said, it's a learning process, and they learn these routines pretty quickly.
And Mrs. DaCosta is sort of the point person for it. If there are some issues on the bus or if you have any problems, she does a lot of work there. I want to remind you as we continue to go through these, folks, we do have a hard stop time of 3:55. We're going to get through as many questions, but I want to add in, as I just saw one of the questions, our students are scored in the hallways, specials, restrooms. There's a yes and no. When each kindergarten classroom has an aide assigned to it, the aides take the students to lunch and accompany them at lunch. And teachers go with them to specials, but they do leave them there. But of course, they're escorted to another teacher. For example, the grade level teacher brings them to the art teacher, that sort of a thing. As far as restrooms, we like to build independence. One of the K teachers want to handle that one. I mean, I would say yes at the beginning, but then we try gradual release responsibility. But Ms. McMahon, you've got your mic on.
I got it. At the beginning of the year, we teach them how to use the restroom. So like Dr. Lou said, it's routines. So at the beginning of the year, we'll go together as a classroom. We'll teach them, how to wash their hands, how to flush the toilet, all those basic things. Then, of course, whenever a child needs to go to the bathroom, we let them go. Now, what you didn't see because you couldn't be in the school is the kindergarten classrooms are so close to the bathroom. My classroom is right across the hall from the boys' bathroom. We're right there. So I let one go at a time because when one has to go, another one has to go, and another one has to go. So what I do is, when he's done, you can go after that. So I usually let one go at a time. So there's no fooling around in the bathroom. They do their business and they come on back. So we would appreciate if they know how to use the bathroom before coming to kindergarten. So they, that you help them, learn how to turn on and off a faucet at home so that they can transfer those skills to kindergarten on how to turn on and off and, how to wash their hands, how to dry their hands and so forth. But long answer to a, pretty easy question is we let them go to the bathroom by themselves.
And, washing your hands never been more important. Nurse A, always here to help with those skills should somebody need to know what 20 seconds looks like. Can your child bring peanut butter to school? Yes, they can. We do have allergy tables. You want to talk a little bit about allergies, Nurse A?
Sure. Life-threatening food allergies, there's numerous children at our school and all the schools that have that. It's very common. And we have procedures and protocols to follow for that. There's assessments that I do with the child's parents or guardians before the child enters the school so that I can help fit their needs in the classroom and also at lunch. So if your child does not have a food allergy, they may bring in peanut butter to the lunchroom. There is no such thing as a nut-free school in the district. So we work really closely with the staff, the parents, the guardians, cafeteria staff, to make it a safe place for the child. And I do a lot of work setting up plans to follow to help protect these children. So if your child has a food allergy, you can just contact me anytime before your child enters the school, and you'll be hearing from me. I'll contact you too. So if that answers your question, and if not, you can just contact me. I'm available on the website too. Thank you.
And Nurse A is really second to none. In my time at the building, in my 6.5 years there, you know, we've, like anything, we've had some emergencies, things have come up, and she's been fabulous. Parents who work.
Mr. Wolpe, just to add a little something, because something that's a little different about Potter Road than some of the other schools is we don't have allergy-free table in the lunchroom. We have allergy-free desks at the end of each end of the cafeteria tables that the classes sit at. My 4th grader has food allergies, and I have to tell you, I was very nervous when she was an incoming kindergartner. Nurse A is amazing. Our staff is amazing. The cafeteria staff, they have a special cleaning protocol for those desks, and they know what every kid's allergy is. They check the kids that are next to them. The kids that sit right next to the allergy tables don't have the allergens in their lunch. And the kids themselves really enjoy and love the responsibility of taking care of their friends by bringing safe foods for them as well. And if there's any further questions parent to parent about allergies and that kind of thing, I'm happy to answer them. You can reach me on the Facebook page.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fisher. Appreciate it. And so we talked a little bit about the Explorers program. That happens till 6 o'clock at night. The sign-up process, I believe it actually already started for next year, but that's something that you can reach out to. Tiffany Lilly is her name. But if you just Google the Explorers program in Framingham, you'll get that contact information. What is the class size? Susan, do you want to, Ms. Moriarty, you want to answer that one there? And the student to teacher ratio?
So every classroom has an aide. The standard classroom aides are there part-time from 9 until about 1 o'clock. They're there during the bulk of the academic time. And the two-way classrooms have full-day aides. The classroom size varies. We've had 17 all the way up to 22 or 23 or 24. So there's 2 teachers in the classroom most of the day. And then we're supported also with an ESL teacher if you have students who require that service, and also a special educator if you have students on IEPs.
Thank you very much, Ms. DeCosta. See the one there on the dual language program? Do they have a lag in terms of reading acquisition? Can you speak a little bit about language acquisition, as I know that's...
Sure. So what happens in language processing and learning is that you really only learn things once and you transfer them over to the second language. So the expectation in doing immersion with the children in kindergarten, 1st grade, giving them tons and tons of Portuguese reading and writing, is that by 2nd grade, we start to see a direct transference over to what they are able to do in English. It's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing. I'm sure that during the two-way informational nights, you'll get a little bit more information on that. But it's the progression is actually a lot more natural than you need to worry about. It's the kids thrive in the program, and our goal is, of course, to, at the end of 5th grade, to see them going off to middle school as fluent in both languages.
Thank you so much. What time does school start and end? 9:05 to 3:20 every day. 9:05 to 3:20. Yes, can parents pick up on site via vehicle? Yes, they can, but there is a protocol for that. It's either in the back of our building, they'd be dismissed to the back, and they would walk off the property, very short distance. There's a sidewalk there, and then they would meet you in the back of the building. Another way is, if you're familiar where Potter Road is geographically speaking, there's a street called Mary Agnes. You park there, and you can walk with them across to the school. Jamie, do you want to speak to that as well? I don't know if there's anything I'm missing there.
No, I think you touched on it. It is a very safe process. I think that the teachers are great, and especially like with Mrs. McMahon said, kindergartners aren't going to go just off. She's going to wait until she physically sees the parent or guardian before they go off. We have parking, and if you do end up coming to Potter, I think we do a great job communicating and getting all the information out. So no worries with that. If you are a Potter parent, we will do the send out all the information and rules on that later.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What do you do with kindergartners who already know how to read? What do we do with kindergartners who already know how to read? Anybody? I'm kidding. We have to have some fun in this virtual world, folks, don't we? Mrs. McMahon, what do you do? What do you do?
Am I in? Okay. Every year we've got readers, we've got non-readers. Kids come to us in all different abilities. You know, some come not knowing their letters. Some come reading at a second grade level. I know Mrs. Moriarty this year has someone reading very, very high this year. We teach your child at their level. So if your child is reading, we're going to stretch them. You know, just like if they're reading at a first grade level, we're teaching them comprehension strategies. We're teaching them, you know, fluency, where, you know, if that child's coming to me not knowing a letter, I'm doing letters with them. So it's, you know, a wide range, but we teach your child where they're at. So don't worry if your child's coming in already reading. I promise you they won't be bored. Bored. You know, I don't like that word, but that, you know, they won't be bored with us, especially. But that's my little flair, Mr. Wolpe. There it is. The flair's
Thank
coming
you.
out.
I appreciate it. That flair virtually really works for me. I like it. Do Mrs. Hobart, you want to talk about that? I mean, because it certainly could be in either language. I know this tends, I think this is the quote, you know, the English tour, but anything that you want to touch on there?
I think Ms. McMahon explained really well. We, for reading instruction, reading and writing, we use the workshop model. So it really differentiates itself when it's their practice, independent practice. They're gonna read they're gonna practice the skills that they need to move a little further, and we'll provide the instruction, the scaffold to bring them to the next level. And it's exactly what Ms. McMahon explained. We'll love them all, however they come. We'll teach them and inspire them and help them blossom. So, yeah.
Hey, you are not kidding, because I saw you the other day with she's selling herself short too. She was part of her life career where she was a puppeteer, and she had a dog puppet the other day and was doing sounds with the kids. So that was a lot of fun. Did you miss the response to the field trip? Yes, every grade does have a field trip, and if for some reason they, we've had years of people decide not to take it. So sometimes we see if we can, you know, use that district funding for something else, an enrichment program. So the hour is getting late, but we've got about 2 minutes. I'm going to ask if anybody else, as far as the folks attending today, and there are quite a few of you, if you have any last minute questions that you can think of. Anybody, any one of the fine panelists have anything? Less than 2 minutes. Oh, wait. Does the bus run for after school programs too? Now, I'm not going to end this on a sour note. I have been advocating for an after school bus for years, and there is not one, but maybe everything in time. Right now, unfortunately, there is not an after school bus. So that does present its own unique challenges, but unfortunately there's not. Yes.
I know obviously this is virtual and it's hard to get that feeling, but I can tell you that when I walked into the doors of Potter Road, when my oldest son was going into kindergarten, I knew that this was the place for him. I loved all the people and I felt it. So I hope you feel that from us even virtually.
Well, I was going to end on that, but I'm going to do my level best to answer these last two questions. There are 2 dual language classrooms in each grade, and 2 SEI classes, sheltered English immersion classrooms, standard classrooms, whatever you want to call them, general education classrooms. And are there academically gifted students? Yes, there's a program, it's called the SAGE program, and it's really for our out-of-the-box thinkers. We do our best to meet them where they're at and provide enrichment and, work on some of their underdeveloped skills, but also work to help them blossom and stay interested and, do things for the community. Listen, I do want to thank each and every one of you for coming this afternoon. This is a new experience for us. We hope you enjoyed the virtual tour. And because I'm a bit of a goofball on the count of 3, I guess we've already done a little jazz hands. We're going to wave goodbye to everybody. This is going to be recorded and you can see it on the website in the not too distant future. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye.